We're on. Okay. Welcome to 30 Words in 30 Minutes. And what we are trying to do is help you to pronounce words, learn some new words, and also some quick definitions for those words. Because if you can pronounce the words better, then you have a better chance to get in the job. You get a good job in the job market. And if you understand the words, and then you can understand the lectures better as we try to teach you as well. So I'm going to go through this fairly quickly. You've got a handout with the 30 words. And one thing that we did talk about was the emphasis. A lot of the international students, when they pronounce the word, they don't get the emphasis on the right syllable. And that's a hard thing to do. That takes a lot of time and learning words. And the English language is not an easy language, just as I'm sure that your languages are not easy. But what we're trying to do here then is get you to pronounce the words more correctly and also understand it. So in the handout I've given you, I've highlighted the emphasized symbol here and given you a quick definition. All right? So the first word here is tolerance. Tolerance. And the emphasis is on the first syllable. Tolerance. So can you repeat that? Say tolerance. Can you?
Tolerance.
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 Okay, okay.
Good.
And yeah, you can, and that is just the ability to accept risk. So a lot of times in financial planning we talk about risk tolerance. Tolerance. One more time.
Tolerance.
Tolerance. Right. Okay, and then I've broken it down by syllable too. So tolerance. Okay. Next word. Volatility. There's five syllables in that word. It's a long word. So the emphasis, there's two emphasized symbols here. Vol and till. So it's volatility. And it's not, you don't have to make it a hard emphasis. It's very subtle emphasis. Volatility. Volatility.
Volatility.
Hey, Eugene,
Volatility.
Volatility. You got it. Good. Excellent. Volatility. Much better. Volatility. Okay, the next word is speculate. Speculate. So the emphasis is on, it's three syllables, speculate. And the emphasis is on spec, so speculate. Go ahead.
Speculate.
Speculate. Speculate. That's when you're taking an investment, you're buying something that has a little bit higher risk for the chance to get a little bit higher return. You're speculating. You're taking a little bit more risk, but you may make more money or you may lose more money too when you speculate. Okay? Speculate. Okay, the next word is kind of more of a saying. It's COLA. COLA, which means cost of living adjustment. So say COLA. Coca-Cola, you got that one. And cost, hey, hi, welcome. There you go. There's your handout. Welcome, thank you for coming. And since he's here, I'm going to back up and go very quickly through these first four words for him. So what we're doing is we're pronouncing words, and where the highlighted word, where the highlighted symbol is there, that's where the emphasis is going to be, okay? So the first word is tolerance. And we'll go through this again, because it's good practice for the rest of you again, too. It won't hurt you to go through it one more time, okay? So, and then it's broke down by symbol, or by syllable. And the emphasized syllable is highlighted. So we're trying, this is kind of an audience participation thing. So if you could just repeat after me. Tolerance.
Tolerance.
Tolerance, you got it, he's got it. So we'll go to the next one. And that's just the ability to accept risk. Volatility. Volatility. The tone goes up on the capitalized syllable. So that one has two. Volatility. So one more time. Try.
Volatility.
Volatility. Right, volatility. Okay, the next one is speculate. The first symbol is speculate. Go ahead one more time for you.
Speculate.
Speculate. Yeah, that's taking a little bit more risk with your investment. So we're caught up now. Cost of living adjustment. COLA, that's basically inflation, okay? And the adjustment, actually the D is silent there. It says add adjustment, but the D is very, very quiet, the D is, so it's adjustment. Adjustment. So that's a word that can be used not only in financial, but we need to make an adjustment. We need to make a change. Adjustment is another word for change. So we need to make an adjustment. We're in the hotel industry, you're in hotel restaurant management, and something isn't going wrong, or is going wrong, and we want to make a change. You say, we need to make an adjustment. We need to make a change. Okay? And basically, COLA, cost of living adjustment, is basically inflation. Okay? So the next one is commingle. 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 The emphasis on the middle syllable, mingle. And basically that's to mix together. So if you have different assets, you mix them together, you've commingled something. Commingle, that's to put together. Okay? Commingle, to mix together. And that's used in the financial industry when you have different financial assets. You commingle, you have an account in one place and you put the assets together, you commingle them. Okay, that's a simple, simple explanation maybe. The next one is conglomerate. Conglomerate. Let's try to break down. Glom. Et. Conglomerate. Conglomerate, you got it. You got it? Conglom. Yeah, conglomerate. Yes. Good, very good, much better, Eugene. And basically, that's basically a company, a conglomerate is a big company, and they might have a business in soft drinks, and they might have a business in selling iPhones, and they might have a business in totally different businesses, but they're all under one big company, and that's called a conglomerate. A big conglomerate. It's many different businesses that are comprised and put together is a big conglomerate. That's a very quick definition. I know these definitions aren't exactly right, Mike, but for our purposes, they're going to work. So conglomerate. The next one is basis point. Basis point. Now this doesn't come so much into play for hotel restaurant management, but basis point. Basically, it's 1/100th of a percentage point is called a basis point. So if the Federal Reserve raises interest rates by 1/4%, they've raised it by 25 basis points. That's what you'll hear. You'll hear 1/4%, or you'll say it's a 50 basis points. That's a 0.5%. Okay? So when you hear the term, and that's used quite often in the financial industry, is basis points. Or the rate on a CD at your bank might be right now, they're so low, let's say they're 1%, and they raise it to 1.1%, well then they've raised it 10 basis points, right? Because they've raised it 0.1%, which is 10 basis points. Got that? So basis points. Let's repeat that one. Basis points. Right, exactly. The emphasis is on the first syllable, their basis. Cyclical. Cyclical is the next word. Cyclical. The economy goes in cycles. So it's cyclical. Think of a bicycle. Can you say bicycle? This is cyclical. You got it. Cyclical. You got it. Cyclical. Better. Cyclical? Cyclical. Okay, good. Good, much better. Okay. Brick and mortar. Does anybody know what a brick and mortar store is? Brick and mortar. Okay. Brick and mortar is a business that's right. Here's brick and mortar right here. Here's the brick. The mortar is the stuff between the bricks that holds the brick together. That's mortar or cement. So we call it in the United States, we call it brick and mortar. Basically, brick and mortar would be a store like Macy's or Best Buy. They operate out of an actual store. They have an actual store. Whereas Amazon is the next word. Well, e-commerce. E-commerce, that's a business that operates off of a website. E-commerce, digital commerce, e-commerce versus brick and mortar, a physical store location. Okay, so let's repeat those two words, brick and mortar.
Brick and mortar.
Brick and mortar, that's the name for this, brick and mortar. And e-commerce, okay? Next, compliance. Compliance, the emphasis on the middle syllable, ply. Compliance.
Compliance.
Compliance. Ply.
Lie.
There you go, you got it. Try to get compliance.
Compliance.
Compliance, yeah. You got it? Compliance?
Comply.
Compliance. Following the rules. You've got to follow the rules. And all of these, if you go to work in the brokerage business, or even in the hotel restaurant management, I'm sure that inspectors and food people come in, you better be in compliance, which means you're following the rules. Excuse me. So we need to be in compliance. Follow the rules. Okay? Now the next set of words, I'm going to call the shun words. They end in T-I-O-N, okay? And that is often used in the English language. Many words end in T-I-O-N. But it's not pronounced Tion. It's pronounced like shun. The T and the I go together, it's shun. And I've seen a lot of trouble with international students pronouncing these words. I call them the shun words. T-I-O-N. Now when you pronounce shun words, almost every time the syllable that is emphasized is the syllable right before shun. So as I read through the words, inflation, yes, perfect, inflation, deflation. So the emphasis is on the syllable right before the shun. Devaluation, devaluation, right, devaluation. But the emphasis right before the shun. Okay? Depreciation. Depreciation. Okay, and we're going to go through these. Capitulation. Right. Capitulation. Right. Acquisition. And manipulation. So the emphasis is always going to be on the syllable right before the shun. Okay? Now, very quickly, inflation, prices are going up. Deflation, prices are going down. Right? Those are easy. Devaluation, that's when you lower the value of something. Just as the Chinese government devalued the value of the yuan recently. They devaluation. Okay? And depreciation. Why don't we say that again? Depreciation. That's when something, because it's gotten older, it becomes worth less. If you buy a car, as soon as it gets older, it depreciates in value. It goes down in value because it got older or because it's been used. Depreciation. Okay, next word is capitulation. Capitulation is when the stock market the bottom falls out. And everybody's running for the exits and fear is everywhere and the market drops 2,000 points in 2 days and everybody's going, sell, 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 panic, run for the exits. Capitulation, and that happens about once every 5 to 10 years. You have some kind of major moving market event, and usually it's a bad thing in the world. I hate to say it, but it's 9/11, or it's some country is going bankrupt because their currency, they're completely falling apart, and the market gets all scared that everybody's selling, and it drops 2,000 points in a day. That's the day of capitulation. Okay?
So what is not capitulation? Because it's
Yeah.
because of the capitulation.
Yeah, it's actually the emphasis capitulation. The pit almost has a little bit of an emphasis on it too. Capitulation. Capitulation. So there's probably, I should have probably highlighted that PIT as well. That's another word that has 2 syllables that you emphasize when you pronounce them. Capitulation. Capitulation, you're right. Good way to point that out. That makes sense. So the next one is acquisition.
Acquisition.
Acquisition. And almost the ACQ is almost a little bit emphasized there as well. But it's acquisition. And that's when you buy something. You acquire it. So repeat it one more time. Acquisition.
Acquisition.
Acquisition. Yeah. Good, good. Okay, is this helpful in any way? A little bit? Maybe a few words here and there? Okay, good. Manipulation. Manipulation. That's when you try to influence the price of something for your own gain. Manipulation. Let's say that one more time.
Manipulation.
Right, when you manipulate something, you are kind of being a little bit devious, and you're trying to make something happen, manipulate somebody, manipulation of the market. Okay.
So what is the difference between the merge and the acquisition?
A merger is 2 companies that come together voluntarily, and they come together as one. Thanks, Mike. We'll see you tomorrow. So merger, they come together and they've merged into one. Acquisition is one company buying another.
Okay.
They've taken them over. Acquisition could be friendly, or it could be not friendly. It could be a hostile takeover, right? Good question. Okay. Got 11 more to go, and we're going to try to get you out of here by 6:30, so I'm going to speed it up. Derivatives. Derivatives. Okay, and that's complicated. We won't go into that. Bullish.
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 Bull, like a bull, like a
Bullish.
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 Bull is the big cow, right? Male cow, bull, and that's somebody who's bullish thinks the stock market's going up. Somebody who's bearish, the big bear, bearish, like the word shh, like shh, bullish, bearish. Try one more time. Bullish,
Bullish.
bearish.
Bearish.
Right, good, very good. Okay, thank you. And then next word is prudent. Prudent.
Prudent.
Prudent.
Prudent.
Prudent. That is somebody who is acting wisely with good judgment. Let's be prudent about what we're doing. Let's use common sense. Let's be wise. Prudent. Prudent. Okay. Next word is initial public offering. IPO. Initial public offering. That's when a stock goes public. That's when it starts trading on an exchange. Okay? Let's repeat that one time. Initial public offering.
Initial public offering.
Good, good. Initial public offering. Moving right along, syndicate. Syndicate. Perfect. That's a bunch of companies that come together. When a company goes public and they have an initial public offering, the syndicate is the group of companies that help it go public. That's a very quick definition, maybe not exactly right, but it's the group of companies that work to help a company go public. They're the ones that offer the stocks out to their shareholders. They're the ones that work with the exchange to make sure it goes public correctly. That is the syndicate of companies.
How
Okay?
about underwriting?
Underwriters, underwriters are part of the syndicate. I would, would be my quick answer to your question. The consensus,
Consensus.
you got it. Got it.
Consensus.
Good. Consensus. Right, consensus. That is it's a general agreement. That's the let's come together is a consensus, okay? And basically in the markets, the analysts estimate how good a stock is going to do next year, and they have consensus estimates. So you'll always hear them talk about what's the consensus is that they're going to earn 10 cents per share next year. The consensus. That is the estimate of the analysts, the average estimates of the analysts for a particular stock are usually going to be called the consensus. Okay? The next one, analyst.
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 Analyst. That is someone who researches a stock or a company. They're an analyst. And you hear, like we talked about in class one time, chartered financial analyst is a designation. An analyst, somebody who analyzes a company, is an analyst. Say it one more time. Analyst.
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 Analyst, got it. Analyst.
Analyst.
Good, perfect. Security. Now this one is on here twice for a reason. The English language is a little bit weird because sometimes there's words that have two different meanings. This is one of those words, security. Security. Right, the emphasis on the security. And then basically one definition is safety, security, free from risk. Let's have security. Let's make sure our airports are secure, right? Security, safety. The second word is security is also evidence of ownership. Like a stock certificate or a stock is called a security, okay? It's a security is another word for a stock, okay? Or a bond, actually, too, would be a security. Okay, so there's two totally different words, so sometimes that can be confusing. When you hear it, you've got to kind of listen to what context the word is being used in to make sure you get the correct meaning of the word. Okay, so security. Two more. Commissions. Commissions. Commish. There's that shh. Commissions, like the shh sound. Commissions. Usually when you have two S's together like that, it's pronounced with that shh sound. So let's try one more time. Commissions. Commissions are what you make when you sell a product. If you sell something and you get a fee for selling it, you've earned a commission. Okay? And the last word is prospectus. 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 Spec.
Prospectus.
Got it. Prospectus, got it.
Prospectus.
Got it.
Perspective.
Good. Prospectus. Try one more time.
Perspective.
Tus.
Perspective.
Tus. Prospectus. Okay, prospectus. Good. And basically when that's a formal offering, when you have buy a mutual fund or another type of investment, they usually will give you a booklet called the prospectus, which helps you understand all the risks and all about the particular investment. So that is 30 words in 30 minutes. I hope it helped you. We're just trying to help you with your understanding of the English language, your pronunciation skills, to make you more so that you can understand lectures better, so that you can go to job interviews and pronounce words better, so that you can learn our language better. And thank you so much for coming. Okay? Okay.